Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to the second of our scrapbooking projects for this week. And I've got to say it's been really fun just to do some scrapbooking because we haven't done it for so long. And I hope today's will give you a little bit of an idea of how to use lots of Anna's products with a child's photo basically, but you're still using Anna's great products. And it's a kind of grown-up page, but yet it's still very much capable of working with children's photos, if you see what I mean. Now I'm going to start making at the beginning and the basis of the page, and then we're going to skip to mounting the photo and everything. So kind of go with the flow here, because this is how I would do it if I wasn't on camera. So the first thing that I've got, I'm going to mount some paper onto a black background, and this is basically just a heavyweight black card. I've got quite a lot that I keep in stock and I like to use it as just a base. So then I've taken two of Anna's papers from the Boxing Day collection, and what I've done is I've trimmed them so that they're going to sit on the black background like that. So first of all I'm going to attach the red spotty one, and you can see I've made marks on the back of it as to which way is up and which way isn't, and just for simpleness, because it's just a basic black background, I'm just going to do it this way to mount the paper to the background, just because I can see it, but it will go the other way around. Now this is a green stripe that I've got for the base because I wanted two colours of card to kind of just break the background up a little bit. I didn't want it to be one solid colour. So let's just position that on the black, and that's just the background of my scrapbooking page. So then what I've done is I've taken one of Anna's fancy papers, again from the Boxing Day paper collection, and I've cut out a section of it like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this in half, and I'm going to just snip it through the middle like so, and then I'm going to attach one side of the pattern to one side of the paper like that, and then I'm going to do exactly the same with the other side, like that. Now, the only drawback about creating a scrapbook page is because it's so big on camera, I can't reach over the top of it to ensure that I've got something lined up straight. So you'll have to forgive me if something goes a little bit wonky. So that's the basis of our pattern background. And now I'm just going to switch to mounting the photo. So we'll put that to one side for now. Now the photo is a photo of a little girl, and I'm wondering if you might know who this little girl is. There we go. So that's a close-up of this little girl. Quite a bonny little girl. It was taken a long time ago, and you've probably guessed, but it is me. And I was in the back of my granny's house in the garden. There was a lot of snow on the ground, and obviously I've got my nice bright red coat on, my shock of blonde hair, and I must have been maybe 3 or 4 when this was taken. And I can kind of remember, but kind of not. Very fuzzy. but it's a pretty photo and it's something a little bit different, and I know that you all love to see photos and you like to know who's in them and what was happening, and it's just, I think, a really cute one of me. So what I've done is I've trimmed the photo and I've used the actual, from the ornate frames from Anna, I've used the next one down. There was a set of 3, and I've used the next one to just give the photo a little bit of shape. And then I've taken it through my Xyron machine. Now I wanted to do this because I wanted to prove that the Xyron machine isn't going to hurt your photos. You can still pop them through, and the adhesive is on the back of the photo, and it's not going to hurt the front of it whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this photo onto the actual ornate frame. Now I know the camera's a long way away, because normally we have quite close up, but unfortunately I've set it just to show you for the scrapbooking page. So we're going to mount that into the centre of our frame, and Anne-Marie is going to try and get it straight like that. So that sits nicely on top of the frame. And then what I've done is I've taken one of Anna's metallic layers, the 7x5 inch ones. I've taken the middle out of it because we don't need that. And I'm going to simply add our frame to the top of our layer, like so. Just so you've got a little bit of green poking out around the edges, like that. And then I'll put that to one side, and we've got that for our page. So we can go back to our page, and again, this is how I would do it if I was working on it, not filming it. So I can now add my photo to the page. I'm using double-sided tape. Now I've been asked about tape lately a couple of times. I use general double-sided tape. It's acid and lignin free, and I get it from that very large auction site. Sometimes I use an 18mm thick tape, sometimes I use a 25mm thick tape. It depends on price, to be quite honest. I do like the 18mm because it's a good depth of tape, and it's great for, you know, videos and projects. So I think it just depends on your pocket and what it is you want your tape to do for you. Red tape is great for, you know, it's so strong in the hold when it's attaching itself to something. I think it's always handy to have some red tape. But it's just personal preference. Okay, so now we can mount our photo. So I'm going to put our photo central to the page, and it's going to overlap between the 2 decorative emblems that we've already put on. So I'm going to position it roughly about there. And as I say, if it's not straight, you'll have to forgive me. So that's our photo. Next, what I've done is I want to take 2 of Anna's silver flourishes from the Flourish sticker pack, and these, simply the back of them peels away like this, and we're going to add 1 flourish at the bottom of the photo like that, and then we're going to add 1 flourish at the top of the photo like that. Now, you know, I've got a little bit of a thing about everything being symmetrical, so I think this is going to fall into one of those symmetrical projects for me. So we've got our 2 flourishes, and then next I want to do the sentiments. I'm asked a lot about sentiments and making your own. So what I've done is I've taken 2 vellum quotes from Anna's Well Said vellum sticker pack, and I've run them through, I've mounted them, onto cardstock, and I've cut them to the shape that I want, and then I've also cut out a mat and a layer for the background, and then I've run them through my Xyron machine, and just for speed and ease, and then I can simply take off the sentiment, and then I can mat it onto the green cardstock that I've cut as the background for it, and then I can peel this off and pop it onto the red cardstock that I've made the mount for, and then it can all peel off, and it's going to sit on my scrapbooking page roughly about there, I would say. About there, yep. And then I've done the same with the second one. A vellum sticker, mounted it on green cardstock, and then cut red cardstock as a mat and layer, and a final layer of the green cardstock. Again, there's simply a few millimetres difference in each layer, but it just brings that sentiment to life a little bit. So then I can peel it away and add it to my project and pop it alongside the other side of the photo. So it's building it up all the time. So next what I've got is I've got 2 more flourishes to go either side of the photo, and we can add these to the photo like that, and the second one for the side like so. There we go. Now next what I've done is I've created some rosettes, and I've got to be honest, I've cheated a little bit here because I wanted them in 2 different sizes, and because I was making so many of them, I decided to use the Tim Holtz rosette die, because I wanted the 2 sizes, and obviously I've made quite a few of them. So it was quite simple, die cut them, and I've die cut them in the backing papers that we've used with the spots and the stripes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 large rosettes to the top of my page, roughly about there, and roughly about there. There we go. And then 2 smaller ones in the green stripe, roughly about there, and at the other side to match. There we go. And then the 2 red spotted ones are going to go just above the sentiments. So I think it gives the page, it makes it a little bit more fun, and I think the rosettes always look quite playful. Next I'm going to finish off the page with 2 mini bows. So I'm going to add a red one at the bottom on top of the flourish sticker, and then I'm going to add a green one just at the top at the base of the flourish sticker. There we go. And that is our page finished. Now, I hope you'll agree that it's such a pretty page, and it shows that using grown-up items, as it were, will still work with a child or children's photos, because I know some people are a little bit scared of using what look like adult themed papers to use with their own childhood or their own family's pictures. So don't be scared, and don't be scared about using red and green when it's not a Christmas photo, because obviously I've got my red coat on. There's the greenery from the garden, so it just seemed logical to pick out the two colours to use for the papers that we've used, as it were. So I just think that is a gorgeous page, and it shows the versatility of Anna's products, that you can use it with any kind of photo, and it's just a case of having fun and playing with what you've got. So I hope you've enjoyed this project, and I've really enjoyed bringing you 2 scrapbooking pages this week, and I just wish I had so much more time to be able to bring you more, but I will try in the future. So please give me the thumbs up. If you've enjoyed this project, please share it with your crafty friends. Share any of my projects, you know, because I'd like to try and reach more people to show them how great crafting is, because I thoroughly enjoy it and I love bringing you the projects. So I'm so happy that you enjoy them. So don't forget, you can comment on YouTube. I can't reply to you on YouTube, but if you need a reply, find me on Facebook or go to my blog. But I do read everything that you've said on YouTube, and I always give you the thumbs up. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.